Here, shout out to my partner in crime, Star Saxon. Yo, I have a great show lined up for you. It's chock full. It's a different type of show. So first off, have a gentleman that's out here in the Southwest. He's been doing this thing, just came back from a tour overseas. His name is Blaine Coffee. Talented dude. And so I wanted to bring you that conversation. Hopefully you will enjoy the conversation. I think it's good to be exposed to different artists, talented artists, and that's what we strive to do here. And that's part of our mission here at Microphone Masters. So going to bring you a two-part conversation with him. Also, those who have listened to the show know a few things. One, that I like my IPAs. Another is that Star Saxon and I are Lakers fans. Another is that I'm a Raiders fan, Star Saxon being a Steelers fan. And another is that I'm a runner. So I'm a part of this running group. It's called Black Men Run here. There's a running group here in the Phoenix metropolitan area where I live. And it's actually nationwide. So there's Black Men Run Phoenix, Black Men Run Atlanta, Black Men Run Bay Area, so Black Men Run Los Angeles, etc., etc. So there's a gentleman that I wanted to bring on just for a conversation, not necessarily about running, though we do talk running, but it's about motivation, kind of getting you to where you need to be. It doesn't matter if you're an aspiring MC, if you're an aspiring producer, if you want to be whatever your career path is. Sometimes we need that there's a tipping point that comes in our lives that motivates us, that inspires us, that helps us to get where we're going. Sometimes it's a small thing, other times it might be a life-changing thing that helps us to get where we're trying to go. And so the gentleman's name, his last name is abbreviated, it's a nickname, so Ed G. Sleeve. Going to bring him to your conversation about that, so I hope you enjoy that and maybe you find some inspiration. So without further ado, let's get into a few songs. I'm going to bring you the two-part conversation with Blaine Coffee, and then after that, we'll get into conversation with Ed G. Sleeve from Black Men Run and a runner, and I think you'll find it inspirational. So let's get into it. You are listening to Microphone Masters on dubcnn.com. Microphone Masters, J Love here. I have a gentleman that I had heard a lot about, and I finally got to see him perform a couple of months ago, And so I was really impressed. I went up and introduced myself. He said, cool. He had saw me perform just a couple acts before, so there was a mutual appreciation there. But aside from all that, talented dude, gentleman by the name of Blaine Coffee. How you doing, man?
Man, we're doing good, man. I'm glad. I appreciate y'all having me on the show and everything. Yeah.
It's all good, man. So I'm gonna start with this, because we don't get into the music and all and how you wear many hats, and I want to get into that a little bit. But you just came back from being overseas. Tell me how that is, because I've talked to Pharoah Monch, I've talked to Master Ace, I've talked to BDI, I've talked to BDI MC from Black Moon, all that stuff, and talked to them about being overseas, and they give me a different perspective. But I can reach out and touch you, because we could go and meet at a Starbucks around the way in the Valley, man. So how was it being overseas, and how did that happen?
I mean, it was an interesting experience. I never left the country other than a couple short trips to Mexico and whatnot, being down here in the Southwest. But I don't know, it was a real good experience overall. In Phoenix, if we go six hours west, we're in LA, or 6 hours east, we can get to El Paso, this and that. But it's still all America. It's pretty much the same culture. There's slight differences, but over there, 6 hours is a completely different switch. Like, you're from France to Germany to London to this to that. So the food changes, the style changes, the women change. It was a real cool experience. I was out there with Elder Sensei and Sadat X. They got a project. Yeah, so they kind of they were the headliners, and we were kind of following them up. So it was just a real good thing to see. Hip hop, like conscious hip hop, boom bap hip hop, is still alive and well to a certain extent. It's not like it'll ever die in any way, shape, or form, but they truly embrace it and appreciate it. So it was refreshing in a sense.
So again, Blaine Coffee here on Microphone Master. So you mentioned, so you glossed over. How did that hookup happen? That's it. I want to go into that because I saw when you were posting on Facebook some of the differences in food and some of those things that I guess we take for granted being in the States, whether it's seasoning or whatever it is. Right. But how did that connection happen? Because great connection. But how did that happen?
So I've been trying to make a million connections every day, all the time, this independent music hustle. But I linked up with a cat named Gage, who came from Utah. He was from the Valley originally, but he came from Utah, and he's been booking mid-level and a little bit older acts for a long while. So he just told me that was a spot to get on if I could get out there. So I saved a little bit of money, ended up jumping on a flight and getting out there. We were taking a bunch of trains, which was new to me, but I probably had to spend, $1,200 travel-wise to get out there and get it going. But that was pretty much the connect. The homie Gage came through. We since kind of had a little bit of a fallout and whatnot, but he was the plug. He was the one that got us out there. There's actually a dude named Brahm who was booking a lot of the shows out there. But it's funny because, America's big, but in this hip-hop thing, it's only so many heads that know so many people. And when you get out to Europe, it's kind of the same thing. It's one or two major players out there who kind of book a lot of the major shows and whatnot. So I was just trying to get plugged in with the right people after, using the connect with Gage to meet these new folks.
So were you able to make those connects where you feel comfortable with the falling out? Sometimes those things happen, the ebb and flows of relationships. Were you able to make connections that you feel are going to be fruitful to be able to get you back out there?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I got a friend out there in Brussels named Myra now, and she's trying to get into her own little booking thing. So, I'm trying to squat up real tough with them so I can start making the jump across the pond far more frequent.
Now, again, when I talked to some of those previously mentioned artists, they talk about how it seems that overseas, the appreciation for some of that as you and I would probably say that real hip hop, there's a much more of an appreciation for it as opposed to maybe how we take it for granted in the States. Would you find that to be true, or would that be a little bit incorrect?
It's definitely true. Times are changing though, so it almost seems as if it's up to the promoter to bring the crowd, and a lot of times, especially in Phoenix, a lot of times they expect the artist to bring the crowd, which kind of can be flaky sometimes. But out there, because we're American MCs, whatever that is. Like out here, we're just looked at as just another head amongst the crowd. But out there, we're like supposed to be the genuine article. So Tuesday, Wednesday night we'll bring out 80 plus, 100 plus. Even for Sadat X and El Decente, they had songs in the early '90s. So American culture probably is not going to be too like, oh yeah, they're current. But out there, people were showing up in droves to buy the merchandise. It was crazy.
I like that. So I know one of the things that I think on your Instagram was you had, when you were kind of listing the different places you were going to be touching, was musical memories. Oh no, not musical memories, but something along those lines. In terms of memories that you're going to be creating about this. So, is there any one thing as we move to the next topic? But is there any one thing that stands out about when you were performing that maybe the love you got, or I don't know, the love you didn't get, or whatever it is? Is there some lasting memory from being overseas and performing?
Oh yeah, well, when we were in London, we were in South London, Brixton or whatever, which I guess is like the hood out there, and we were at this hip hop chip shop, and there was still kind of some funny business here and there with the show, like like times changing and this and that and this and that, but they put us on and they're like, look, you guys only got like 10 minutes, and I was like, only 10 minutes, like that's tough. Then when I pulled up to the stage, they're like, look, you got 2 songs. I was like, 2 songs? I was like, that's some extra shit. So either way, I was like, you know what? Let me do it like this. So I dropped the microphone. I did an acapella with no microphone, just yelling at the crowd, top of my lungs, and like I got a super good reaction from everybody up there. Everyone was like, "Bro, that was real brave of you to drop the mic and just do it super acapella." But beyond that, out in the streets of London, I'm walking around just being me, and I had women run up on me like, "Oh, I love your accent," and I was like, "My accent? I was the one with the accent." Like. But it was real cool, man. Like, we were in the little party central in London, and again, like, I'm talking to one girl, and another girl's trying to pull me away just because she's like, I got talking. I was like, oh man, I gotta get back out to London.
See, you don't know what it is, you know what it isn't. Your bro calling different, the pro in the business. Flow relentless, knocking them senseless. Talking consensus, we making hits, they hopping the fences. Pockets defenseless, money keeps on burning them holes. One swerving the road and granny say that permanent's owed. Told my granny, sorry but conservatives old. My alternative though, I learned to turn these words into gold by murdering flows. Tell her I'm a businessman with a business plan, filling orders to fit demand. On a hush, not a crutch, well equipped to stand. Hot damn, give me your hand, give me your fan. White shadow, known to have rose or have risen. To those who have listened and those who have listened, with no intermission, the flow getting christened. It shall be done, so it was written.
I was always told that if I ain't gonna be part of the greatest, I'm gonna be the greatest myself.
Everybody that watches me fight, or everybody that has witnessed one of my bouts, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
We don't approach things like we're good. We just approach things like we're gonna work, and we're gonna work hard. Hard work pays off. If you work that hard, it's gonna get good, and good turns to great, and hopefully I'm the
See, when the party gets to jumping, call the flow 130. But when you up and catching worms, you know the flow come early. Like, funny how these people act like no one heard me, right? But shit, I'm making hits like it's the home run derby. Yikes, the long shot, went and got my city on lock. Risen from the rubble, end up standing on top. Dusty South ENT, get it non-stop. The tonic, the flow, atomic, go and let the bomb drop. Onslaught, proportions are epic, the course could get hectic. Of course you expected, more like forced to accept it. I'm still young, but yet I'm so much more than just restless. These money rappers coming with that shit that's stored in the septic. Call it stress, a little something over a dose. White shadow, a little something more than a ghost. Riddle me this, what could be more than the most? Check your pulse, a moment to toast. So what was the fucking
I was always told that if I ain't gonna be part of the greatest, I'm gonna be the greatest myself.
Everybody that watches me fight, or everybody that has witnessed one of my bouts, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
We don't approach things like we're good. We just approach things like we're gonna work, and we're gonna work hard. Hard work pays off. If you work that hard, it's gonna get good, and good turns to great, and hopefully I'm the definition.
Riding the flow, I'm the skipper. Cat holding my swisher, so fly. These ladies only know with my zipper. Scolding vinyls, leaving blisters. I spit fire on tracks. I'm not much more than a whisper, but my desire's my neck. I make hits, they go back, and way gone. Stack to stay on top while they sit and scribble in crayon. Fit to take on anyone, a cocky amateur. No need for managers, I'll damage all your manicures. Shadow the janitor, keep it clean but got some screws loose. New dude sticking it to you like he practice voodoo. Leader of the new school, you know I bust a rhyme. Just in time for the radio, AZ's on Justified. Under my rule, they must abide. I feel the consequences. Cool spitting shit so fat it's